Today, Elise and I are meeting with Kilee Nichols, who is the founder and owner of Nickel & Suede, which is an accessory company starting off with leather earrings and now makes many accessories and fashion. And this is our first time to get to do one in person. And it's exciting because Kilee and her husband Soren and their family are good friends of ours, and we've kind of been a part of the journey. I was actually looking at the timeline, and Kilee, it was in 2014, June, you guys started Nickel & Suede.
Yeah.
And we bought our first vlogging camera for J House Vlogs in July of 2014.
That's awesome.
And we were neighbors just living down the street, so we've kind of been on this journey together. And you guys came and visit us in Puerto Rico too, which was super fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to be on the podcast, and I feel like we've mirrored each other's journeys a little bit, and it's been so fun to watch your guys' journey. And our kids are friends, and
you have 5 kids. We have 5 kids, and they're about the same age,
Yeah.
and so they grew up playing together. And we actually were just talking about your cat. We named it Scratch, but that was your cat. Who came
Yeah.
to our house.
yeah, our cat would go live at your house because it loved your kids, and so yeah.
So a little background on Nickel & Suede. It starts as a leather earring company, but just in 3 short years, it becomes one of the fastest growing companies in America. You now have 3 stores either opening or about to open, and over 30 employees. It's just become this thing. And it's been exciting as friends to watch that. You also are a style blogger and have done that for years, and now a podcaster. And you actually are having Kendra on your podcast today.
Finally, so excited. I've been begging her.
For a long time. So I'll put a link to anyone who wants to go and hear Kilee and Kendra talking about whatever you're going to talk about on that podcast.
It's going to be great.
Tell us your story about your first pair of leather earrings.
Okay. Well, this is a great place to start because starting at the beginning is always exciting. So we sell leather earrings, and before we started selling leather earrings, nobody was really doing it. And so I always wore the same pair of earrings every day. I always wore big metal silver teardrop earrings. And I love things being easy, and I love like doing the same thing every day, and it makes it like easy to get dressed. And so I just always wear the same pair of silver earrings. But then I kind of wanted to shake it up, and I was like, I kind of want to wear gold earrings, but I want them to be teardrop and big and like look the same. And I didn't have any. And so I did have some gold leather. So I was like, I wonder if I cut up this leather to look like my silver earrings, would it look the same, and would it, work as earrings? And it totally did. And so I cut up this gold leather, and it worked. It looked like my metal earrings, but it felt so much better. So I had these gold teardrop earrings. Actually, I have a picture of them right here. And they looked like metal earrings, but they were made of leather, and they were shaped like a teardrop, and they were big, beautiful, but they felt so good. They were so lightweight. And so I wore them for the next couple of days. And I realized, oh my goodness, I keep forgetting I have earrings on. And that never happens. My earrings are always so heavy. And I don't care because I love how they look. But I would always, I was mowing the lawn and I was laying down and I was like, I would hold my phone, and it felt so good to wear these earrings that I thought, wow, this is a really good new idea. And so that was really the first pair. And that was how the first idea came for these leather earrings that looked like metal. And then I showed my husband Soren, and he said, well, this is an interesting idea. And he said, I think I could help you make them better. We shouldn't be cutting them out with scissors. And so that's when he came into the picture and started helping me with the business, was let's figure out how to make these in a really professional, polished way. And so then we just kind of started going after that.
Wow.
When you look back on those first 2 years, because you were running Nickel & Suede out of your garage and basement. I remember Soren was dealing with problems like, how do we store this much leather in the garage effectively? And he was building all kinds of creative devices.
Yeah.
And you were growing rapidly. I mean, from 2014 to 2017, you became one of the fastest growing companies in America. By 2018, you're in the Inc. 500 at number 127.
Yeah.
What are some of the personal achievements or successes that you look back on those first couple of years of getting the company going?
It's interesting. We were in our basement. We were one big achievement is I had 2 kids during those 4 years. So I was pregnant. We grew our family during that time too. So it was just like a crazy time of like being in our basement, thinking like, okay, we can grow this company out of our home and in our basement. And then realizing like, wow, there is so much demand for this new idea. Like it was a novel product. It was something like no one had ever done before. And every woman that tried them on was like, I don't ever want to wear anything else. This is such a great idea. Can you do more colors? Can you do more styles? Like, can you give me more? Because I want to trade in all my other earrings for these. And so that's really where the growth just started like going. And people were telling their friends. And so that was awesome. But it was like, we couldn't keep up with it. Like that was where it was just like, hang on for dear life. Like, and so then we were having people trying to pick up from our home, and like, we were just like can I buy it and can I come pick it up from your house at all hours of the day? So then we opened a store. And so opening a retail store 2 years after we started was really exciting. We felt like that would just be a little pickup window turned into a full-fledged retail program. Now we have 3 stores. We opened one in Dallas in June, and we're opening our 3rd store on the Kansas City Plaza this fall. So didn't see that coming, but it happened, and here we are. And so I think just hanging in there for the crazy growth is a big accomplishment. Like when you have an idea that is new and exciting and people grab onto and they really want it and you weren't really planning on it, that's like something I've learned and also felt like that was a big accomplishment just to hang in there and figure it out.
Surviving the growth.
Yeah. We're 6 years in, and I was telling somebody last night, like, the first 5 years really happened to us. Like we didn't do it on purpose.
You had a great idea. You were able to begin the execution, and then it just took off. And I remember like that first Christmas, and then in 2015 Christmas, you had to get the boxes out on time.
Yeah.
And it would be a real scramble. It was like, so how are we even going to do this? And people would come to help, and it was like, we had to get...
Everybody, anybody, get in here. Like, who can take kits home to make earrings? How can we just, like, everybody and anybody. And friends and family helped and things. But then, like, it's like, okay, finally, like, on year 6, it's like, okay, maybe let's do this on purpose. And, like, it's just different. Like, it's a different way to start a business. And so, like, I'm really proud that we've been able to just hang on and, like, make... just the demand was so great, but like that was hard to just make it happen. So
what did you do as a kid to help you do what you do today?
Yeah, great question. So let's see, as a kid, I was always interested in all the things that I do today, but I never knew how they were going to turn into a job someday. But I always loved writing, actually, which now I've turned into like writing as a blogger, and on social media, there's a lot of writing, and even just writing as a CEO and as a boss. Like there's so many messages that we have to write to customers and to sell to customers and telling people like what we believe in and what we care about and things. So writing was something I loved. And I would write little stories, and, like I remember in 2nd grade writing little stories, and the stories I wrote about were like, this girl and her friend went to the mall and they went shopping. And I remember drawing little pictures of them walking their dogs with their shopping bags. But I loved illustrating my stories and talking about fashion and how they loved their shopping and their cute outfits and, writing the stories. But like, that is all the stuff that I care about and I do now, but it does make it, I also use it to make a difference now for people. And so it's cool to see that I loved art. I loved color. I loved, so I did love my art classes and my writing classes. And now as a grown up, I still get to do all those things, just in a different way than maybe the little stories I used to write.
That's cool.
Yeah. So those, writing little stories about whatever you like it will pay off later on. It's a good idea. So
yeah.
We were talking before we started recording about your dad, and he's a professional artist at Hallmark. He does some of the Christmas cards and some of the cards, and he's super fashionable. We were talking about that as well. He just dresses amazing. How do you think he impacted you too over the years growing up, and now with what you do, his influence on your career and on your life?
Yeah, that's a great point. I did grow up with a really creative family and a family that really valued, like, I think, talents. And my dad's been at Hallmark for 30 years. And I know there could have been more lucrative jobs, but like he and my mom like cared that he was happy and fulfilled in his job. And that kind of was the most important thing. And so we made the best of whatever his paycheck was, because he was happy going to work every day. He loved what he did. And that was like a creative role. And so I would go to Hallmark and I got to see all the creative, fun things that they did. And I got to play with all the fun things. And it was like, yeah, being creative does make you happy. And everybody that works there is so happy. And like, you get to make a difference with creativity. And so I really did learn like creating is awesome. And there's so many different ways you can create, but I think that really made a difference. And then just seeing that like my dad is fashionable, and I mean, my mom has a great sense of style too. And my dad's family, like I just come from a family that has their own personal style, and that's okay. And, you know, they're not worried about what other people think. And so that's a really good example to me.
So for you, Elise, I know both Kendra and Elise love your earrings. What do you love about Nickel and Suede earrings? You like to wear them a lot.
I love them because they're so lightweight. They were like the first, I actually remember the first earring, dangly earrings. They were the mint Nickel and Suede earrings. I still have them. I was wondering if I should wear them today, but they're so like awesome. Like they're amazing. What advice would you give to kids who want to do fashion or run a business?
Stay in school, go to college. And if you want to run a business or be in fashion, I do think there's a lot of classes that you don't have to take, but I do wish that I would have taken some classes in business or in accounting or in like things that maybe you don't think sound fun or that you don't want to learn about, but like the numbers matter, analytics matter, and those are things that are hard for me. So I'm having to learn them more now and learn them in the real world, which is good because it's important. So now I see why, and I have a drive to do it. But what I love is the creative, and that comes a lot easier to me. So of course I would want to like learn more about that and take those classes and things, but I would say lean into the things and like work on the things that are harder for you, and you'll always have time and find time to do the things that are fun and that you love to do. So yes, of course, take the art classes. Yes, of course, take the fashion classes, but then make sure you also take the classes that sound like no fun at all, that are also really important, like the numbers and the analytics, because you will not be able to run a business or be a successful, even all influencers need to be business people too. You have to be able to make money. And so you have to be able to know numbers and see whether things are successful. So I would say do things you don't want to do and do things that are hard. And that's really what's going to help you be successful.
After you were featured in Inc. 500, there was an article and you were quoted. I'm going to bring a quote of you. And you were saying, being a manager and hiring people is not my strength. I don't like giving critical feedback. I'm really an introvert at heart. I feel like this is a problem a lot of creatives run up against when they want to start a business. Mm-hmm. How have you been able to face those weaknesses in continuing to grow this? And what advice would you give to the introverts out there and those that would struggle with these types of things?
Yeah, I think part of it is just like, I've learned you have to want something more than you're afraid of the things you're afraid of. And so sometimes maybe the things that I would say, oh, I'm an introvert, so that means I just don't like talking to people, is actually me saying like, I'm afraid to do things that are hard. And so like, it's hard for me to say, to give people feedback, which giving people feedback means like saying, hey, you did a good job here, but you really need to do better here and here. And you need to do better by next Friday, and then in 2 months, and then in 3 months, and I'm going to ask you about it all of those days. That's not easy for me, because what I really want is for everybody to just do a good job all the time, every day, no matter what. And I don't and feel great all the time. And I don't want to be the bad guy, and I don't want to be somebody that says, you're not doing good enough. And what I'm learning and what I know is the case is that actually it's really good for people to be pushed and for people to know what they're not doing well at, because it helps them be better. And everything that I like getting better. I like feeling like I've made progress. I've grown. I've learned new things. And so if I can help recommend something to people and say, hey, if you just did this, you would be better next week. You'd be better than you were yesterday. That's helping them. And so I'm, I think you just learn as you go, and you get braver, and you say, I want my business to succeed. I want to succeed more than I want to stay scared. And there's going to be 1,000 million times you have to say that to yourself every single day. But, whether it's like somebody's nervous to go to college. Okay, well, I want to go to college more than I'm scared to go to college. Or if somebody's nervous to go talk to the bank. Okay, well, I want to start a business more than I'm scared to go talk to the bank, or whatever it is. So
you really lean into it.
Yeah.
And you're always so honest about your fears, yeah, which I've really admired. And you're really honest about any of your struggles. And I think that's been a huge part of your success, watching from the sidelines. Like, you're always acknowledging and then going into it and facing it, which is impressive. And one of the things we admire about you.
No, thanks.
What helps you with creativity in your work?
Creativity. So the opposite of that, the way creativity gets squashed for me is when I get really stressed, and when I do too many things I don't want to do. So this is kind of the opposite of what I said earlier, but lots of times I have to do so many things I don't want to do, or I, fill my whole day up with things that it's like, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And then suddenly at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not happy. This isn't any fun. I didn't leave any room for just being creative. So creative for me, I love to have, just time to look at magazines. I love to have time to, I will take really long showers to just think about things, or I like to travel, which we don't get to do right now very much, but going new places, trying new food. There's a new ice cream place opening up soon that they say that they roll the ice cream in crunched up Cheetos or Kool-Aid powder. And
have to try that.
Sounds so gross, but to me, I'm like, well, that's creative. I got to go try that, because maybe that's going to remind me of something cool later. I just like to see new things, and those new things remind me of something else. So I love to just have new stuff just pop up, and then that connects an idea for me later on.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be able to stop thinking about crunchy ice cream Cheetos.
Cheeto ice cream. I got to try it. It's so weird.
Have you felt fear on this journey?
Definitely. I think there's not very many people, I think, that don't feel afraid on journeys that they've never been on before. So I think maybe someday I will be able to look back and, be like, oh, I've done so many things before, and so nothing scares me anymore. But there's a lot of things I've never done before. And most of the things for Nickel and Suede, and for anything I want to do that's new and building, I've never done it before. And that makes me really nervous, because I like to know what's coming. I like to know how to be prepared. I like to just, that's what makes me feel safe. So the unknown of how to do stuff makes me feel really nervous. I've totally felt afraid all the time. But I think the key is just knowing that that's normal, and you do it anyways. And you find a balance between doing things you know how to do and then trying something new. And that balance will help you feel not afraid all the time, but also okay, we still have to try again. So.
I think a lot of times the fear comes of failure. Mm-hmm. Can you think of times where you had failures that ultimately turned into successes? Yeah, totally.
In the last year, we've been looking at hiring. We've been working really hard on hiring for different positions, and until this last year, so in September, I took over really as saying, okay, I'm the CEO of Nickel and Suede, rather than my husband and I are co-owners. And so then hiring people really fell on my plate of who am I interviewing, and interviewing people was terrifying to me, because that's one-on-one, meeting a new person and also sizing them up. And that's just really hard for me. So I had to learn how to interview people, and as an introvert, as somebody who has a hard time engaging with new people very often, it was just a really hard thing. But because I practiced it so much, I did it over and over again, I finally kind of figured it out. I feel like there's still a lot to learn, but I've found some really great team members. And then like most recently, we just hired somebody that I had to have a lot of guts. But I just saw her experience and I'm like, you know what? I need that. I need that experience and I need that position. I'm just going to message her. I'm just going to message her and see what she thinks. And I messaged her and she's like, yeah, I'm totally interested. And within a month we had her hired. And she was like, she has amazing experience. I would never have thought like 6 months ago that I could just go hire somebody with that experience or that she would even be interested. To me, it was very much like I'm sticking my neck way out here, but I have to also be confident and believe in myself that like we have something awesome here. Who wouldn't want to come work here? And so that was scary, but also I just had to be brave and believe in us and me and what we're doing. And it worked. And so so I'm sure she'll listen to this, but it's like, I'm really excited. It's the right thing. It was the right thing for both of us. But if I hadn't had the courage to do it, it would have been bad news for both of us. So
you've shared with me before that one of the pillars of your business is optimism. Mm-hmm. How do you maintain optimism when the reality of what the business is now is far from what you want it to be? And that's kind of a constant struggle. How do you keep the optimism?
Yeah, I think that's...
And optimism is staying positive.
Yeah, staying positive. I think I've also kind of translated optimism to my employees as like, it also means like, we'll figure it out. And so like, it's the belief in that we're going to figure out how to get there. And so like, if we can navigate like every situation that way, then there's always a way out. There's always hope. And so even if it, doesn't look like what we want today, we have we're smart enough to figure it out.
It's that self-belief, that ongoing.
Yeah. And somebody can carry, I don't always have to be the one that carries that torch, but if everybody carries that torch inside themselves, then we have enough of that to keep us going. So.
What's your favorite part of your job?
Ooh, my favorite part of my job. I will probably always say, and I'll always get made fun of it probably, but I'll probably always say picking the colors because I just love picking colors. So I just really love going through the Pantone color book and matching it up with like maybe things from my closet or things that I'm seeing out there and then taking it to the team that develops products and saying, these are the colors that I love and that I think we should be coming out with next year, and seeing how the colors like go together. And it ends up, the colors get designed into new shapes and new things, but I just really love picking colors. So
I like doing that with like outfits that I have. Like if I have a shirt and shorts that I haven't tried together and they look cute together, I just wear them.
Yeah, it's so fun to see things go well together. It just feels good. There's just some kind of magical jus around it.
Before you were making earrings, you were a style blogger, and you've continued to do that. How have you had the confidence in picking outfits? That I know that that's something where you can feel really insecure about, or it's hard to know what is in style or not in style. And Elise, I know you've talked about that, just the fun of making it and creating it. Mm-hmm. How do you face picking an outfit? Because it kind of seems to be similar to picking the colors.
Yeah. I will say, to give people hope or to give, I didn't always feel, I think it's come in waves. In junior high or in high school, I love to shop at thrift stores and I love to kind of put crazy things together. And back then it was partly to stand out and to be different and to make a statement. But then I remember when I started my blog or was entertaining starting it, I remember thinking, who am I to be giving advice about this? Am I I don't know if I have enough authority to write down this is what's trending this season. Here is what you should be wearing. And I do remember feeling that who am I to be saying this to other people? So if anybody feels who am I to be picking an outfit or even thinking that I know what's cute, I also felt that way, years ago. And so I think it really is kind of like anything else, trial and error, and also failing, flopping. I've done so many years of taking pictures of myself wearing outfits that I've seen a lot of times like, that didn't quite work as well as I thought it did. But actually I felt pretty good in it. So there's a kind of a win-lose there. Like I felt good in it. Didn't look as good as I thought. So I learned from that. And so there, like, I've just gotten dressed every day, tried something new. And like, also I think taking a picture of yourself and seeing how does it actually look to other people, can give you confidence as you go. But, I'm a big fan of just, if you like it, try it and then own it. And there's people who walk around big cities like New York City wearing the most atrocious things, and they are the style like gurus. And it's like, who said you could be and why? And so for us to be so insecure about whether like our flip-flops are okay with our t-shirt is bizarre. And so if we like it, I feel like we really need to be happy and comfortable and confident in it. And that's the difference. It's like how you're standing, how you're walking around in it, and how like how what's coming from the inside is really what's making it look good together or not. And I mean, yes, there are people who are better at putting outfits together or not, but I think that's just because they've put effort into it. They've tried over and over again. They've paid attention to, hey, I like what she's got going there. Why? I wonder why. And that's what you do, Elise. You pay attention, and that's why you enjoy it. And so, someone needs to ask for a little help from somebody who they do admire their style. So there's lots of facets to it, but I do think I'm always like, just own it. If you like it, try it, and do not let yourself say, oh, she could wear that, but I never could. That's the first issue. We have to get over that first.
What is it you love about picking out clothes and trying on different things? Because I've seen you just really love doing that.
I think it's because I just like, I don't know, wearing it. I guess for some reason it's fun to just try something new and then like wear it and then like, I don't know. I guess I like looking at other people and liking it and then trying, like what you said. But I don't know really why I like it. It's just because I like it. How do you know it's in style?
That is something that I feel like I'm extra good at, like naturally. And it's partly like, there's a strengths test called Strengths Finder. And one of my like best skills is being able to take, a piece of information over here and a piece of information over here that really aren't connected and put them together. And so that can kind of work with style, where it's like, I see one person wearing something and I'm like, huh. And then I see one other person over here wearing it and I'm like, huh, that's going to be in style. Like, give it another year and like, we're going to see that everywhere. I'm really good at predicting it because I've just like, that's just a strength that I've always had. But I also really like it. I really like color. I really like trends. I think the creativity that comes in getting dressed. And so I pay attention to lots of things. And so when you pay attention to so many things, you just absorb a lot. And then you're like, oh, okay, I've seen that at Target. I've seen that in the magazine. I've seen that on her that I really admire. I've seen that here. I bet that's in style. And so I think when you like it, you just pay attention to it a lot of places. And so you learn about it. So, yeah.
We've also talked about how empowerment is something that's really important to you with your business and making style approachable. Mm-hmm. How do those work together with leather earrings and with your business?
Yeah. Great question. So leather earrings, we thought, okay, great. This is a product that is a new product. It's a great function. Cool. Like, this is going to sell really well. But then it really was interesting how it wove in with my story and my values. But really, these earrings are big and they're lightweight. And so they allow women to do something they've never done before. And so they allow a lot of women who have worn studs or never worn big earrings before to try something new. And so we have this like huge customer base of women who are trying big earrings for the first time. And that's our biggest fans, are the ones who trying earrings for the first time. And then they're getting compliments on them when they go out and about. And they're like, wait, oh yeah, I am wearing earrings. Thank you. And then that compliment cycle and that feeling of like, hey, I just did something kind of brave for me, which was wear a big earring, get complimented, make a statement. Yeah, like it's kind of like lipstick. It's kind of like stepping out of their comfort zone. It creates a cascading effect in their life. And so then they're like, maybe I can do something else brave I've always wanted to do. I didn't know I could be someone that wears big earrings. Maybe I could also wear those, skinny jeans or, whatever it is. Maybe I could also
Cutting your hair in a new, different style.
Maybe I could then I could also apply for the job I've had in mind. And so it just kind of opens up possibilities. And so that's where the really like be brave, be bold, take a chance, like started to come into plays. It's like these earrings have become like a symbol, and it's like a physical thing to put on to say like, I can do this today, or to give as a gift to say like, hey, I know you're going through something hard, but like, here's something easy to wear, easy to put on that will make you feel beautiful and feel like you're worth it. You can do it. And so just the lightweight nature of them means that they won't weigh you down, but they still make you feel amazing. And just something that makes you feel good can just change your mood, change your like how you feel about what you can do. And so that's where we really want to empower women to feel like I can step out of my box. And that could be earrings, that could be a hat, that could just be getting my second piercing, that could be trying for that job, or choosing to stay home with my kids, or signing up for a race, or whatever it is. Like, it's just, what's the thing you've not been doing? Well, we're going to suggest you try it, and you're going to be really proud of yourself when you do. And then you're going to be like, maybe I'll do the next thing. And that's addicting. So.
Well, I know people can find you at Kilee Nichols on Instagram. Yep. Your website is Nickel and Suede. What's the name of your podcast?
It's With Kilee Nichols.
With Kilee Nichols. Any other places we could send people to find you? And we'll put this in the links, but...
Yeah, those are all great. That's perfect.
All right. Well, we really appreciate your time. Thanks so much for meeting with us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, that was fun.
To follow along on our family's adventures, connect with us at J House Vlogs on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Thanks for listening. J House out.